You're the one that gave us Boston.
Oh my gosh!
Don't let anyone else in. Oh my gosh.
Drink beer.
You're doing great now.
Drink beer. Drink beer. Drink beer. Drink beer. Drink more beer. Beer.
Wait, there's glasses covered too, right? Bird that's sitting up.
There was these two pirates.
Ooh.
Okay.
Alright, I like okay, I'm following the story.
Pirates.
Butt pirates named Nate
And-
Ben.
Make eye contact.
Yes.
Let her go, she's on it.
Continue.
They were in hiding. Okay. They were actually prisoners of war. Prisoners of war.
Oh,
Okay?
pirate war.
Yes. But
Well, why were they pirates if they're prisoners of war?
doesn't matter.
Prisoners of the pirate war. Nate.
Keep up,
They
Nate!
were still lying.
Pirate war, come on,
And
Was it war amongst pirates?
Shut up.
It was a pirate war.
they both had their own. They were friends, but they both had two very different secret desires.
Oh.
One
Butt pirates indeed.
One
was gay.
to go to clown school.
Oh! Whoa!
I love it.
The other to be a wrestler.
Oh no!
Whoa! Nice.
But the only way to fulfill their dreams was to get to land and climb
Start
the
recording.
stairs.
The stairs.
All right, your
Liz.
turn this
All right.
anyway.
Excellent.
Do you remember that part?
Are you recording?
Yep.
No. It's going on my YouTube channel.
All right. Do they have names?
Clyde,
And Bonnie?
Travis.
Clyde and Travis. Clyde and Travis sat in their damp, moldy, musty, smelly cells at the bottom of the belly of a ship as prisoners of this pirate war, just longing to get to land so that they can enjoy performing arts.
Clown school.
As
And
a
wrestling.
clown and a wrestler.
Climb the stairs.
And as they sit there in their pitiful existence, wondering if they'll ever reach land,
Never.
there's a small sound. I don't know how they heard it because it's very loud in the belly of a ship, but they heard the sound. And it started moving. They could hear it moving above their heads and throughout their deck. And then all of a sudden, out from behind a crate pops a small wild animal.
The bet. Yes! Yes! Excellent.
All right.
The Beth is indigenous to Antarctica.
The small wild animal that crept along the ceiling, across the floor, down the walls, under the floorboards. They're positive they could hear growling and sniffing. And as it crept along underneath the floorboards, it seemed to grow larger and larger in size to where it almost couldn't get through the tiny openings anymore. And the boards in the ship began to rustle and move. It was breaking through,
I feel
and
like I'm
out
there.
popped an enormous stuffed animal.
Oh my god!
Stop. Nightmares.
As Travis and Clyde stared at the fluffy, hideous monstrosity that had burst through the floorboard in the midst of their cell, they turned to one another and said, "What do you make of this, Clyde?" "I don't know, Travis," said Clyde, "but I'm a little bit afeared." But the stuffed animal turned its head completely around. And in the back of its head,
Those 3 eyes.
there was a screen. What? A screen. It reached its arms towards Travis and Clyde, and their hands opened up. And all of a sudden, 2 Nintendo controllers popped out. And it said, "I need you to be my new video game testers."
Yes! Excellent! What? Original NES? Or
Yes.
Oh.
Excellent.
It's important for the plot.
Well, it would be the first Nintendo if it was back in.
Pirate days. Unfortunately, the video game was extremely boring.
Was it Kirby? It was Kirby.
It was
No, Kirby was the best!
It was a two-player game with two different tracks and a guy walking on each track, and it was called Long Walk with an Old Friend. Travis and Clyde, after about 2 minutes of playing this game, decided that they had to stop this stuffed animal from this torture that it was imposing on them. So, Travis, was he the wrestler or was Clyde?
Travis is the wrestler.
Travis whispered in Clyde's ear and said, "We might be amateurs at the things we love, but we must use them to outsmart this beast." Yes!
Yeah! Woo! I love it!
So Clyde runs off to the side and makes honking noises like a clown, which distracts the animal, turns his screen, and he looks, while Travis jumps off of a crate. Macho Man Randy Savage elbow right on the skull of the animal.
Yeah!
Excellent.
I didn't see that coming. Yeah.
Did not see that. Can you smell what he's cooking?
Randy Savage. Elbow. Travis and what's his name?
Clyde.
Clyde! Stuffed animal. Nintendo. Okay.
I have faith in you, sir.
I don't have faith in myself. Decided they would give the Nintendo set one last chance. So they picked up their controllers with renewed vigor, started pounding the keys, pounding them so hard that they transformed into a Nintendo 64.
What?
Whoa.
And they started playing Luigi's Mansion.
Oh.
Whoa.
And the house started
They're on a ship.
burning. The ship started burning
It caught fire.
and turned into a magical house that was burning, a burning house with ethereal flames of green.
Oh my god.
And they started wrestling. But Clyde was the much better wrestler. Travis was the much better wrestler. And Clyde
How are you gonna end
was
this now?
subdued.
Oh no.
And he said, "This house is surely burning." What was your card?
Burn it up!
Burning house.
Good job.
I'm sorry. I don't know where to go.
Oh man.
These two are too good. There was so much to fulfill.
And after he was put into submission, he was nearly knocked unconscious from his full Nelson grip. When finally he tapped out and said, "Enough!" And Travis looked at Clyde and said, "Who are we kidding? We're never going to make it off this ship. We're never going to make it to land. Especially me, for I am the person who has never left the city."
Whoa.
It was at that moment that Travis got down on one knee, looked at Clyde, pulled out an engagement ring, and said, "Will you marry me?" As the house ship burned down.
Yes! Yes!
No, I have to end it.
Oh, she's gonna end it. Okay.
Oh, that's right. I thought it was done.
Almost.
I'm ready for more.
I think I have a bit.
So, who proposed to who?
Travis proposed to Clyde.
Yes.
Clyde says, "Uh-oh, here comes trouble."
Oh!
But they were on the deck up above.
Of house ship.
Yep.
How shit.
And
That's the way up there.
Travis was proposing, right? So Clyde says, "Here comes trouble." And Travis thought it was him. But Clyde didn't mean that. He meant they were about to fall off the earth because it was a flat earth.
Yeah!
The end.
Excellent. Here goes Java.
Voice recorder for the last 36 minutes.
He's on his game.
Yes!
He's on his game. This one's still being video recorded, but
Dude, we could put it to like some
Turning
clip
this
art and
into-
stuff.
Yes!
Right?
That would be a YouTube
audiobook.
I'm telling you!
Audiobook. All right.
Go.
So
time.
this next story begins with a homely trucker sits alone in a broken down apartment. It's his first night alone in many years, which is depressing. And the depression is compounded because earlier that evening he was the member of a wedding. It was his younger brother's wedding, and his younger brother had married the girl of his dreams. And this trucker,
This is worse than freaks and geeks.
this trucker sat alone in this dingy apartment dreaming of the wedding he had just attended that should have been his. But the pressure was on because this trucker had bigger things to worry about. He was approaching a deadline.
He's better than my hands.
Awesome.
Better hold the mail, man.
Don't let the mailman inside your home.
Okay. Our trucker was approaching the deadline for. He was liquidating every asset he had,
Oh.
That's what
getting rid of everything. He had nothing left to live for. The girl of his dream was already married to his younger brother, and he couldn't spend the rest of his life watching his brother in the happiness that he wanted for himself.
Oh, that's deep.
Brother sucks.
So he liquidated everything and was going to spend it all on a trip around the world
Okay.
where he could see everything he wanted to see before he ended his life.
Wow!
Deadline.
She's not done.
But he got a phone call.
Oh.
It was his travel agent who had been wrong about the deadline for the trip. It was passed.
Oh, man!
Sheesh.
Wait a second.
Travel agent was wrong.
Trucker
That was great! That was great!
Excellent.
put down his phone.
Oh, you drew one?
Yes.
He's on point.
He put down his phone
They're planning.
and looked around his apartment, which was all empty because except for the single chair and the telephone next to it that he was sitting on,
Wow.
he had liquidated all of his assets.
Oh my god.
He had a pile of money, but nowhere to go with it. But all of a sudden, there was a knock at the door.
Oh. Those are the worst.
The homely trucker sat for a moment, and the knocks grew louder and louder,
More frequent.
and more frequent. And finally he said, "All right, I'm coming.
That's what
Rising to his haggard feet, the homely trucker stumbled to the door and pulled it open with much disgust, only to be met by an aging clown.
No!
Clown.
Where did he come from?
The clown had a somber look in his eyes and said, "Sir, I entertain all of the crazy adults in the supermarket after hours. And I found this receipt on the ground. and it had your brother's name on it. I looked you up in the phone book, and you were the only one I could find. And underneath the receipt was stapled to it a slip from a nearby laboratory that showed that his brother had terminal cancer and was dying. Suddenly he felt deep sorrow and being so jealous of his brother. And he went to go find him. I'll let you go then because you haven't.
That's great! That's great!
I have nothing.
He's just gonna
I was building up to the cancer. How did you
I
do
will
that?
tell your version.
No, launch from the cancer.
There's more cancer now.
I got nothing.
There's more cancer!
Well, now he's gotta find his brother.
And tell him that he knows.
Speaking
Because
of
he
card,
feels so terrible
Dude,
that
we're
he
doing
was
it for
jealous.
you!
pick a new card.
Alright. He was drinking Yingling on a Friday night. It was very late, sending out way too much. And he was
The
thinking.
sad aging clown drank with him.
And the sad Asian clown drunk it along with him. The crisp air blew in from the rafters that were not insulated properly.
Because he liquidated his...
He had liquidated
Windows
installation. Because it was filled with copper, and that was at a higher price.
Copper in his installation.
In these hard economic times. And Trump was about to be elected. Oh no. And many people were fleeing the country. And they decided that we shall invest in cancer because it is the only industry left that America truly profits from. So we shall endorse Big Pharma and bring it to a point where America
Next.
shall become what it once was.
Yes!
And that
Make it
was
great again.
Make it great again.
nothing.
They were starting to reach straight to
A
press.
non-existent thing far, far away on a flat plane of Earth. And Europe shall once again reign.
Then there was another knock at the door.
What? Who was it?
And the clown looked. Does this guy?
The trucker
No.
doesn't have a name yet.
No name.
I'm naming him Bobby.
No, no.
Bobby.
His name is Alexander.
Alexander.
Billy Madison!
And the clown looked at Alexander and said, I think that's your door. And Alexander looked at the floor and said, I don't care whose it is. And the clown said, should probably take a look anyways. So he goes to the door and opens it. And who is at the door? But the love of his life / brother's wife. And she was a person in mourning. For the brother had
Jack
passed
took a
away
card.
5 hours earlier. From the cancer. And she came to bring the bad news.
How did you know?
The brother, satisfied that he married the love of his life, but also conscious of the fact that he had terminal cancer,
Oh man.
went ahead and broke all the bones in his body. Satisfied that he lived a full life and simultaneously letting his wife / future widow go and live her own life.
All out of one day.
Set himself and her free.
Oh my.
Take it away, Amanda.
It was
Please.
I have to find that card. Hold
It
on.
was broken bone.
His broken
And then he
bone.
went to break
Alright,
all the
alright,
bones in his body.
Hey, back it up.
The most important.
Back it up.
No, it's happened.
No,
It's been done.
the younger brother's
It's
dead,
been done.
Okay.
and the love of the older brother's
Comes
life
to the door, okay.
comes to the door,
Okay.
and there's a clown,
Okay.
and they're drinking with them. but the older an aging clown.
Okay.
But the older brother's finally reunited with his love of his life.
But he's got broken bones.
No.
No,
that was the dead brother.
The dead
That's
younger
how he
brother.
died.
Oh, okay.
He broke all his bones.
Oh.
So the wife and the younger brother's going back to the love of her life also.
Okay.
The older brother.
Okay.
Now just go with that.
But he's not who had cancer.
The
The
dead
older brother
brother
killed himself because he had cancer.
No, he broke his bones because he has cancer.
The dead brother
Alright,
broke
guys.
all his bones and gave his wife away.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
The wife is at the door. The older brother to tell
Right? But she's a widow now, so it's okay.
And the aged clown's still there.
He's still hanging out.
He's
Okay.
hanging in there.
Warrior style.
Okay. Well.
He's hanging in there with Alexander.
Sipping his lager.
Yes.
The woman had a very dark secret.
Oh.
The aged clown was actually her husband already.
Oh my gosh! No way!
And the brother,
Yes.
The living one?
the living one,
Alexander.
fought valiantly. Is the right word?
I don't know.
Valiantly. Close. Good.
Depends on the next sentence.
To win her hand,
Okay.
to win her over. And all she could say was,
Clowns are
"No, she will listen to you."
Oh!
The aged clown.
Oh
Take it
my
away.
gosh!
Finish it.
Wow. hit
Dirty
that.
sure.
Alright, good.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I set you up for a sappy love ending and you blew it away.
I know.
I want this in novel form.
And as Alexander and the aging clown.
Well, he is raging.
The raging aging clown raged on in this tiny, rickety apartment, banging into walls and bringing down these rafters that are missing the insulation and copper because of the economy and Donald Trump.
Donald Trump!
And this poor young widow stands there watching on, hopeless to stop them with her words and not being willing to risk her body to tear them apart. These two wrestled on until one of them got stuck. And it was the clown. And the clown was wedged between two pieces of wall that had cracked as this apartment was crumbling in on them. And as he was stuck, he looked at Alexander and he said, "Alexander, you may be rid of me one day, but you will never be rid of humor, of my memory, and the memory of the fact that this woman was once mine." And with that, the aging clown took his dying breath.
Oh man!
That's okay, because she can now marry the.
She's awesome now.
And
Double widow.
the widow,
The aging clown ain't gonna die.
the widow, who was now widowed again, said, "You know what? Fuck this." And she left. And Alexander took his pile of money and went and wooed another young suitor with whom he lived happily ever after.
Exercise.
Alright.
Should crawl backwards though too.
You want to see my cards?
Story.
So, once upon a
Let's
time.
wait till we get
Once upon a time.
How is this the first story to start with Once Upon a Time?
This is the first story that I've started.
because it's the best story. Continue.
In ancient Turkey,
I like it.
in a city that was once known as Constantinople,
Istanbul.
there once lived a starving artist.
An artist.
Well, there were many, but we're gonna talk about one particular one. Starving artist who was busy painting the ceiling of whatever cathedral is there. I can't remember what it's called.
St. John's.
In
Probably.
Turkey.
Hogwarts.
In Turkey?
This artist had been searching for love her entire life and had never found it.
So it's her entire life.
Revealing.
And all else she has left is to put all of her artistic ability into this last piece of art. And hope it means something, because otherwise her life has meant nothing. And it will.
Wow.
In her mind.
It's touching.
I feel it in my bones.
Until one day, she's working late at night in the cathedral. Everyone else has gone home. She's painting by the light of the stars and the full moon.
Flat Earth.
Silence.
How about you?
When a stranger comes into town,
Oh.
into the cathedral, with a flashlight in his hand.
Electric torch.
Agree to disagree.
At first she's afraid. Who is there? And he's the very gruff, manly voice, which I'm going to need Zach to impersonate in a moment.
He's so gross.
He's got
I think it'd be better to hear you try.
Zach doesn't know what
I'm going to save this line for you, dear.
Okay.
But by the light of his flashlight, she can see that it's a firefighter.
Stars in the moonlight.
It is a firefighter.
Go ahead,
Why
take it away.
is-
Take it away, please.
More illumination needed.
The
Because I have a
firefighter.
card that says flashlight.
Or less illumination.
The firefighter whose face is bare except for the mustache he wears, because firefighters are not allowed to wear beards but only mustaches because they fit inside of their air-breathing masks, looks around and says, "Where is it? Where is it?" She says, "What is it you're looking for, sir?" And he says,
That's nice.
"You know where it is!"
Whoa.
She nearly stumbles off of her ladder. Says, I honestly don't. He said, "Don't you lie to me, woman. I know that it's somewhere inside the wall."
Wow.
Whoa.
You're like blush right here. So excited.
I love stories.
The fireman in his rage grabs his axe, starts hacking and chopping at the wall.
Whoa.
Screaming.
Mural?
No, the mural's over here.
The mural is
Screaming, "Where is it? I know you stole it!
Oh.
Shoplifter!" You stole the sacred emblem off the front of my truck that I was given by a Tibetan monk 16 years ago on my journey through the Alps. And it has protected me from every fire that I've ever walked into.
That's deep.
Sacred album from the truck. Where am I?
They got it in the Alps from the Tibetan monk.
This is the album
Emblem. There you go.
from the truck.
He's looking forward in the walls.
And the mural on the wall it's okay.
Maybe. You can change that.
Bronze?
Yes.
Whatever.
Bronze it up, son.
This is bronze.
Sonny Jim.
The water.
That's why.
Oh, really?
Copper is the proper term.
Copper.
He's a fireman.
Tibetan monks.
You don't have to follow the Tibetan monk part. He's just
Emblem on the truck. What did it do?
She
Protects him
from fire.
He's a fireman. It's very important.
Protect.
So they left the mural to its own demise.
Hmm.
Got in the truck. And they traveled a far distance. Traveling back to where this all began.
The two of them?
Ancient Turkey. Traveling at 88 miles per hour.
Nice.
They went back in time. and settled at a rest area.
Okay.
What for me?
It literally says rest area. Rest
He
area.
accepted the shoplifting.
So they're together now.
Yeah.
And they went back in time.
And time.
They went back farther in
How
time.
did they get back?
They
in
were
time?
already in
88
ancient
miles
Turkey.
per hour.
Don't you know anything?
Oh my gosh.
Back to the
Ah!
future.
Time travel after 88 miles an hour. It's back.
Alright, so they did time travel.
So,
Yes, but they just went farther back. They were already in ancient Turkey, and now they're in ancient Turkey.
And the emblems in the walls.
They're in more ancient Turkey. I guess they just gave up on that whole idea.
They went back 10 minutes.
Apparently, DeLoreans
10 minutes
were
earlier.
earlier.
That's what I heard. They were
So, they get to this rest area. It's really just a big well. It's a community well.
Yeah, okay.
Which is what they call
Kinda
rest
like a pool,
areas
pretty
in
much.
ancient Turkey.
Perplexed by this interesting
know
machine,
what
they were approached.
that word?
And the fireman looked at this person and said, "You look familiar. I can tell." And the hairy man, the man who is extremely hairy, stared at him. He says, "Of course you know who I am. I've been waiting for you.
Oh!
At the well.
You've lost it, haven't you?"
What is it? Your virginity?
The firefighter and artist think back in their lives and they recall very frightening and distinctly that aberrations have been coming to them, warning them of today. Aberrations. I'm drinking, okay? Yo, they've been warning of today and not to make the same mistakes as the people have come before them.
Oh.
I suck at this game. You guys are so good. It takes me like a day to write a page.
We're at the well.
Yes.
With the
Extremely
With the extremely hairy man.
hairy man.
Yes.
Name is Harry.
Haven't been the hairy man.
Ghost.
Now remember, think about the aberrations. Stop ghosts.
And the firefighter and the woman.
Yes.
Okay. And then all of a sudden, an architect of ancient Turkey.
Ancient Turkey.
Comes out of the well.
Why? Taking a shower?
Because the well is invisible.
Okay.
It's all in their eyes.
Where am I like my chipstick in this?
And the architect, when he comes out of the invisible well, declares his love for the starving artist.
Oh man!
Sheesh.
That's all I got.
Okay. So,
The architect of this whole adventure, the architect of our lives, the architect of the universe.
so the
I
architect
wanted to be an artist.
and the artist immediately lock eyes.
Flux capacitor.
They lock eyes and realize they were destined for one another.
Whoa, wow.
Her, the artist working in the chapel, and him, the architect who designed it.
Oh my
The two of them.
Yes!
The two of them
See, I told you.
run to one another and go on a blind date.
Really blind.
Close enough. It was an invisible well. I
It
don't
wasn't
know.
invisible well, so it has to be blind.
So the two of them left, and then
Destiny.
left at this invisible well is the hairy man and the firefighter, who are once again locked in a battle over the missing emblem.
I forgot about the missing.
And one final look at each other, and they come to the conclusion at the same time.
I'm not gonna read that card. I'm gonna do it for one.
Pick one.
I had to read mine. Didn't make any sense.
That's alright. We were.
Oh my gosh, this is a huge plot of jokes. I can't come bring it home with this one. I'm gonna do my
Quick,
best.
keep going.
Okay, okay. No, but these two need to go.
Who's starting?
Okay, so where are we? They're on a blind date. Oh, what
No, they're gone. They went on a blind date, and now we're back to the firefighter and the hairy man. We're still worried about extremely hairy man.
We're worried about the protecting fire emblem.
The protective emblem that was stolen by the artist that they just let go on a blind date.
Can I take? All right, am I finishing it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Then I need. There was Southern. Okay, never mind. Okay. So the starving artist and the architect went to live happily ever after. They're totally out of the story now.
They're done.
We're done with them. And the firefighter looks at the very hairy man. He'd already said he was very familiar, right?
Yes, they knew each other.
Yes.
Well, the extremely hairy man recognized
as
the firefighter.
The firefighter asked the hairy man, where did you come from? And the hairy man says, I don't know. My past has always been a mystery.
Wow.
And the firefighter says, my past is painful, but I think we can help each other. Because I once had a missing child.
Oh!
It's his father!
And the firefighter unbuckles his fireman uniform.
I can't tell if this is a rock or
No, he's got a locket.
No, he
No,
just
No, he's just very hairy.
He's a hairy father. I like it. And then they take the emblem and they go sell it on the black market and make tons and tons of money. And
The fireman says, the emblem's been in my pocket this whole time.
and they live happily ever after the end.
All right.
It's a cry.
I shall wait until everyone is gathered around Havoc.
To hear kiss.
questionable half elf.
warlock.
Wait, no. You're not.
Are you ready?
Yes.
May I begin? It was a dark and stormy night.
Yes.
Last
Yes. All right.
In the middle of a thick wooded forest, there was a hunter
I'm listening.
stalking his prey. He had a bow and several arrows, but it was no beast he was hunting.
What?
Someone had stolen something dear to him.
Wow.
And it was no trinket either.
Ever dear.
It was his late grandmother's ashes.
What bastard?
Indeed. He had tracked the foul fiend into the forest, where he lost trace of him in the storm.
The storm.
But as he rounded a bend in the path, he saw a bold hill in the distance and under the moonlight. And there was a strike of lightning. And a man appeared.
And thunder.
A man not of this time.
No.
Carrying nothing and wearing no clothing.
Nice!
But next to him appeared a box of postcards.
Oh!
A box of
Oh my gosh.
postcards. I love it.
Is he naked?
It's not the Terminator.
Indeed.
It sounds like it.
Get
It's
over
an
it.
ostrich.
The time traveler looked at the hunter and said, I know what you seek, but we have other important matters to tend to. This will be the last night you spend in your old home. This box of postcards are not like any postcard you've ever seen. For whenever you write your name on one, it will transport you to the place that is shown on the picture. Yes! And it will take you to the date on which the postcard has printed on its front.
Nice.
Damn.
What if you write someone else's name on the postcard?
Banana!
We'll work that out later.
We're
The
gonna
time traveler.
figure that
The
out.
time traveler in the woods.
Makes sense. How'd the time traveler get there?
Exactly.
He wrote on a postcard.
Yes!
Yeah.
The time traveler explained that at each of these locations, he will have a task to complete
Ooh.
in order to save the universe as we know it.
Wow. Holy cow!
Take her away.
What after thunderous storm had cleared, and after the time traveler had spoken, another appeared in the electric storm, naked.
Oh my gosh.
And he rose,
Bring him back.
and the time traveler looked at him and said, I remember you. And he says, what do you require? He says, I require a gun. A gun not of this time, but of a future time. Because you will need to turn the camera towards me to defeat me.
Whoa.
I will bring the destruction of humanity.
Oh!
I don't know. I'm done.
Alright, Ben. Put some love into this.
A man has been dying for a love story.
Loving his grandmother
Destruction
enough to
of
follow her
humanity.
ashes.
This time traveler, the second time traveler, no
evil
ordinary
man.
time traveler.
No,
In
no
fact,
ordinary.
he was an old, bitter, 80-year-old man. And he was able to track them with ease because of his excellent sense of smell. And as the two desperate others ran away, clinching for dear life onto their box of postcards, scrambling for a pen
Nice.
to escape,
Nice.
they can hear the eerie, heavy, fumbling footsteps of an angry
80-year-old man.
80-year-old man chasing them
Naked 80-year-old man.
through the woods.
You see, this 80-year-old man wasn't always evil. He once cared about the smaller things in life. The children. For he started off as a department store Santa.
That's enough to drive anyone to be
And as
a
the
naked time traveling
and as the years and years of people coming to him, he became more and more proud and wanted to destroy the time traveler and the past for his own glory.
Alright. I don't know what I'm going to do with this 80-year-old man. But there was a large wild animal, okay, coming out of the woods. And this large wild animal wasn't your ordinary wild animal.
Of course.
It was a centaur! But it was a woman.
Female centaur.
And
Centaurus.
she heard all this commotion.
Centaurus.
So she charges out there and falls in love with the 80-year-old man. No, no, she falls in love with the first time traveler.
Yo!
Naked one.
The hunter, right?
Oh, the
There's
hunter. Well, he's not the time traveler.
And the
They're both
80-year-old.
naked.
Alright, let's bring
They're both naked.
the
Well, the
time
hunter's not
traveler.
naked.
The first time
The
traveler.
first time traveler, who is actually from the Civil War.
Okay. Alright. Wow.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright.
And that's all I got.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's better than what I've had the last.
All right. So, as this female centaur comes out of the woods, the two naked time travelers and the hunter hunting still vigilantly for his grandmother's ashes which were stolen.
Forget about that.
This is a bad porno.
Are taken aback.
Sounds like a really good one.
They are taken aback by the sight of this beautiful female form attached to a beautiful equine form, and they are just they are stopped. They're stopped in their tracks.
They're moving tracks.
No, there's only one.
I don't know.
And the hunter says, "This is all really interesting, guys, but I'm out of here." And he keeps running, and he leaves the box of postcards with the first time traveler to wrestle with the second time traveler. And the hunter runs, and he gets in his truck, and as he's turning the key to drive away and leave this crazy place, he realizes that he put the keys in the glove box so that they couldn't be easily seen. And as he opens the glove box, he pulls out a postcard. Which already has his name written on it.
What's the date?
And he looks at the clock on his truck and discovers that it's still the same time.
It's for 5 minutes earlier.
or 5 minutes.
As he's looking at the clock on the dashboard, wondering why it is still frozen in time,
Oh, cool.
a flashing light in the rearview mirror catches his attention, and he goes, "Oh, crap." His license plate was expired, and he got pulled over by the police.
No! Busted!
Oh!
He doesn't have time for this nonsense, so he quickly reads the postcard.
It's from his grandmother.
It's from his grandmother?
Yes!
I missed that part.
It is now.
Okay.
Just roll.
Reads the postcard from his grandmother that is taking him to his childhood home in the backwoods.
I was thinking Nebraska. I was going to say Nebraska too.
I am so sorry.
It's
That
gotta
was
be Nebraska.
crazy.
Nebraska.
That's so weird.
That was weird.
That was really weird.
Why do 4 people think Nebraska at the same time?
I don't know.
That's nuts.
I was thinking that the stories end with like the thing spinning and then the screen.
The totem.
Yes!
All right, so
No, he's done.
You
Yeah,
need to send deeper into the
No,
dream.
wait, I need to hear the end.
the end that shall bring this whole morbid tale to its conclusion.
Not depressed.
Unfortunately, when the police was chasing the truck, before he could fully read his name on it, he hit a bump and the postcard was torn in half. It did take him back to Nebraska, but several decades prior.
Whoa!
While there, he had no means of getting back to the future. So he settled down, found a beautiful woman,
Nice.
started himself
Or
a
man.
family,
Yeah.
and he had
Beautiful man or woman.
twin boys.
No way.
I'm glad you
Twin
went with that.
boys.
Yes! Yes! He's gonna do it!
But the hunter did retain his bow. As they grew, he recognized the face of one of them. It was the naked alien! And so he, with tears in his eyes, drew back his bow
No.
and released his arrow into the child's heart, instantly shattering the space-time continuum, casting him back into the normal time frame of the modern era,
Or was it Nebraska?
where his 80-year-old person vanished with a sad, wailing moan. The other child thanked him kindly from his heart, but revealed to him in an email later that could never be unsent the dismal truth he had become his own grandfather.
Is that seriously what it is? An email that couldn't be unsent. Yes!
That's where it came from.
I wish I said my own That's going on YouTube.
Next heart to reset this.
Okay.
Yes?
A motivational speaker.
A motivational speaker is speaking to a crowd of people, telling them all about how to live their lives happily, with joy. When he finally finishes, he's greeting a few people, and he extends his hand to this man who's wearing a nice purple suit and a blue tie.
That's what I do.
The man shakes his hand and says, "Excuse me, sir. I am a mind reader.
Yes!
And I know what you did.
Whoa!
And I expect you to show up at the cemetery at 5 in the morning to give me your confession."
No! Oh, man.
Oh.
Take it away, Dave. Get the person.
The man responded after a minute's pause of just staring directly into his eyes.
Longingly.
He said to him, "For many years I have long awaited this invitation. And I will meet you at the graveyard. And I am most prepared. And I hope you are as prepared as I am."
Long awaited. Oh.
Whoa.
Wow.
Now, this motivational speaker, this shady, crafty man of deceit,
Oh.
he's a person who's new to the area and arrived precisely on time at the wrong cemetery.
Nicely done.
Who's the guy who's approaching the...
He's a
Mind
mind
reader.
reader.
The mind reader. Emboldened by the motivational speaker's lack of presence at the correct cemetery. Said to himself, "Success at last. Now I can reveal myself. Now I will have my revenge." What? Dun, dun, dun. And then this girl at the cemetery, and she
So this girl at the cemetery. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So the mind reader is upset. Don't look at my card. He's upset that the motivational speaker went to the other cemetery, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So the mind reader can read his mind, so finds out where he is at what cemetery. So the mind reader goes to that cemetery. The mind reader has a backpack
He's in love with his own mind.
with fish netting.
Okay.
Stockings.
Sounds like my mind.
They're porno.
Throws the netting on the motivational speaker.
Oh, not that kind of fish netting.
Knocks him out.
Cool.
He's unconscious.
Okay.
He drags him to his fishing boat.
Oh, man.
All right, your dirt.
What happens?
The mind reader
Drag me in your
could not be more pleased to be able to exact his revenge on this motivational speaker. And as he drags him onto his fishing boat, preparing to do his worst, he thinks on how he got to this position. And he remembers that as a child, he had seen this motivational speaker with his mother. And his mother was a historian. And
That hussy!
That whore.
his mother was very, very well versed in the practices of history
That's what they call it.
and the Russian fighter jet female team of World War II, the Night Witches, yes.
Witches,
And his mother was very well versed in the Night Witches.
Night witches?
She was a night witch!
His mother
It was a nickname.
was in fact
World War II women.
a Night Witch.
Oh.
Whoa! Yes! Soviet
And
night witch!
his historian Night Witch mother was very motivated by this motivational speaker.
Nice.
And as she aged and lost her senility, she unfortunately had a terrible accident. And this mind reader remembers that this motivational speaker was the reason for his historian mother's demise.
No!
No!
Bitter and hurt by this memory, he walks over on the other side of this tiny, creaking fishing boat as he's rowing and rowing past the breakers into the moonlight as this motivational speaker is gradually waking up from his groggy stupor. And the mind reader says to the motivational speaker, "It's too late for you now. You know what's coming."
Nice.
But good thing for you, I have a parting gift. It was a gift from my late mother, so you should enjoy it as well.
Whoa!
You will be needing it more than I will where you're going.
Oh!
Because it is a camera that takes pictures of ghosts.
Whoa! Then, just as the mind reader is about to harpoon the motivational speaker to death,
Trident.
from the depths of his tiny little fishing boat emerges his servant, Jeeves. And Jeeves says, "Excuse me, sir, but I believe murder is still illegal in the states of New England. Would you prefer that we wait till international waters to
That
do
sounds exactly like
your
Jeeves.
dark deeds?"
There's actually states. that make-
"Blast it all," says the mind reader, "but you have a very valid point. All right, Jeeves, pilot us out to the middle of the ocean."
In a tiny fishing boat.
But unbeknownst to the mind reader, Jeeves was a double agent.
Oh!
Oh shit.
Highly motivated.
You had no idea it was going on the spot.
So the mind reader looked at Jeeves
He slapped him.
and said, "Let us proceed out into the middle of the waters so we can take care of this gentleman who the motivational speaker, I should say." And when they get out to where the water is now international and laws are not followed,
Where is that?
the mind reader says, "What is that smell?"
Mm-hmm.
And he remembers that Jeeves was wearing a very specific cologne. A cologne only used by Russian agents in the KGB.
Oh snap.
The mind reader grabs an oar and says, "No one betrays me on this boat." Clubs Jeeves in the head and his body falls into the ocean. Now the mind reader...
with an oar?
Nope, he just fell off.
Okay.
Now the mind reader... His body. Jeeves fell into the ocean. His body now quivering with rage, he turns to the motivational speaker and says, I have wanted nothing but a confession for what you have done. Confess! And the man looks up at him and says, I do feel so very bad. As it turns out, the mind reader works for the local parking authority, and this man had unpaid parking tickets! And he says, I do not care about what you've done to my mother. You owe the government $15 for parking on the street! The motivational speaker says, oh, is that all? Takes $15 out of his pocket, hands it to the man, and they sail back to shore. And everyone except Jeeves lives happily.
Inspired to begin with.
One less KJB to worry about.
This is like Archer.